Take your best shot, Tommy.
Bruce, that's impossible. I should have.
He's getting edgy. When he turns the gun on me, I'll have a split second to disarm him. Too early and he'll kill Lucius. Too late and he'll get a shot off.
Kill him. I'll do it.
Welcome everybody to something new on my channel, and it is reviewing. Why am I doing reviewing? Well, there's really nothing going on my channel, except like after I do a Let's Play, then the channel just kind of sits, and what else am I gonna do? So for my first review, I decided why the fuck not tackle Batman Arkham Knight on Xbox One, not PlayStation 4. And today, for my first review, I am joined with
Speed McCool, woo! Or Drew. Yes.
So, Drew, we have both
Yes.
played this game.
Yes. I played all the way through it. Complete Riddler and all.
I have not done the whole Riddler thing yet. So, before I start, why don't you give your own opinions about this?
I actually enjoyed the game, actually, to be honest, because I'm I don't want to say huge Batman fan, because like people say, oh, hey, do you know this about Batman? Do you know this about Batman? I know enough to like say, oh, Joker is a villain, or Two-Face, and like I know enough about the backstories of each character. But as far as like maybe like Hush or like the Arkham Knight and the Killing Joke and all this kind of stuff people add on or whatever like that, it's like I know, like I said, I know enough. I actually, like I said, I enjoyed the game. I played all the way through it. One thing you said you didn't like was the Batmobile. I thought
Fuck the Batmobile. Fuck that shit.
I liked it. I actually enjoyed like the thing, especially that little nuance they had there with the what people don't know is like the bat turn. Like if you sit in place and just turn, like just basically turn the Batmobile, it'll actually spin in place. That's
I've done that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's fun.
That's like they call that the bat turn because it'll literally spin in place or whatever like that. The game does it. As far as the quality of it, I played through this game actually longer than I played like the Origins versus like the Asylum.
Well, Origins, that would make sense because Origins was.
But like Arkham Asylum and then Arkham City, I played this one. I actually sat down and played a little bit longer because they had more side missions to do. I did enjoy how you can actually do the side missions were part of it, and they also had it to where they don't just give it to you. You have to kind of find it in the city when you're exploring. So I thought that was pretty ingenious. I will say that it like the game is a bit predictable, just a little bit. But I mean, if you're like I said, if you're
because it is the Scarecrow, and everyone knows how the Scarecrow.
I will admit the critique that about the Scarecrow is I like his look in this one, but I like the voice of the guy in Arkham City.
Yeah,
I liked his voice versus this because the guy who plays him, I don't know what his real name is, but he plays Dr. Parrish or Mr. Parrish or whatever on Sleepy Hollow, and he also plays Walter on Fringe. And every time he's like talking, that's just, I'm thinking back to those characters, not the Scarecrow. So that was kind of a like okay. And I understand that Jonathan Crane, who also plays the Scarecrow, is like obsessed with fear, but he kept saying fear like the entire time in the game.
I will spread fear,
and it's like
fear,
or you will fail, and it's like, come
are you
on.
a fail? Are you a fail? You are going to fail. You're going to be a failure.
You're going to be a failure to the city, covered in fear, and it's like, come on now, just calm down just a bit. You know, it's like I understand you're a Scarecrow, but just come down just a bit.
Well, there's no stick up his ass, so he's not a real Scarecrow.
I did enjoy the Riddler. I liked the Riddler, like I said. And the Riddler was awesome. His costume in this one versus what they did in Arkham City was kind of weird, but it goes to show his transition from more like where he's intelligent, because if you actually look at him, he's wearing like a tool belt and like a construction worker, so he's basically hands-on and kind of rolls up his sleeves and stuff and goes for it. And then, but he's unkept a little bit to where he shows he's insane, because him and the Joker are kind of like one-on-one with each other, but Riddler
also, major spoilers, the Joker is in this.
Yeah, I mean, he comes back.
He's not. It's not even a spoiler. I mean,
people know he's in there because you can actually see screenshots where he's talking to Batman. But he's a figment of Batman's imagination now, because if you played the originals, he quote unquote dies off or whatever. But you really can't kill off the Joker. So
he died in the second one.
Yeah. Arkham City.
And
I think. It was kind of his own fault too. And he keeps talking. He's like, "You killed me, Batman." It's like, no, it's your own fault because you injected yourself with Bane's Titan stuff. It's like, what are you
Loser,
doing?
you druggie.
Which I don't know what they did with the one at the end of one game where you can see actually Crocodile's thing grab a thing and he grabs like a Titan case that's in the water and you never hear nothing of it.
I enjoyed the game. I did enjoy some of the stuff with Scarecrow in it. I mean, at the very beginning, Scarecrow he kind of seemed like this really creepy guy. And then you just kind of like crawl a little bit on and on and on, and they try to introduce you to like these new enemies and all this shit. I mean, they're
enemies, but they're introducing them to their version of their enemies. Yeah.
Yeah. Few things about the main storyline. The Scarecrow. Everyone has said this, and I must admit to it. Scarecrow is not as scary or as like complex as he was in Asylum.
Yeah.
Scarecrow was the most complex in Asylum, and it felt like...
Was he actually in Asylum or City?
He was in Asylum.
Okay, because I'm thinking...
He wasn't in City.
I like that City. I like the look of this one, but I like the voice and the mannerisms of the one of the Asylum. That's what I enjoyed.
But the thing was, in Asylum, like, it took on a more, like, if anyone's played Metal Gear Solid 1, the Twin Snakes, or just Metal Gear Solid 1 in general, on PlayStation 1. There's Psycho Mantis, and he could like easily like fuck up your TV or whatever not, and you had to like, and the only way to beat him is to put in your controller into something else. Well, for Asylum, if everyone remembers, Asylum, if you get to Scarecrow, he basically fucks with, the developers make him look like he's fucking with everything, and it is creepy as balls. And like, you're seeing Batman just like going like, what the fuck? To bring the Batman Begins Scarecrow, because in Batman Begins, the movie, there was a Scarecrow, and it felt like they were trying for that type of route, where like it was more subtle, but like it still had a meaningful impact on Batman.
Well, yeah.
But it scared the shit out of Batman, but it wasn't as like super out there, like you are on drugs, you are high as fuck.
But that's what I like, that one quote that actually takes fear, like the word fear, and turns into an acronym where it's false evidence appearing real, and that's what makes fear possible, you know? So that's why Batman was able, that's why Batman can actually do that, because he basically stumps that. Because I don't know if people actually do know the reason why he actually takes over the Bat emblem, like the Bat as his main gimmick or whatever you want to call it, is because as Bruce Wayne was a kid, he was actually afraid of bats. And as people, if you don't know if you've seen, where he's actually trying to sit in a bat cave and let them all swarm around him, because it is a terrifying experience or whatever like that. But that's kind of his biggest fear, is bats, and he was able to face that and become his thing. That's why he makes himself like less beatable, I guess. But
because he's using that type of fear, because everyone's
he's using that for his own, because you can actually see the Batmobile in this one. They make references to it in City, because it actually comes in, it's kind of a spoiler, where it comes in where Bane's fighting it, and he actually calls it in, and it pushes Bane into the water. Yeah. And I don't know if it goes in the water too or not, I can't remember, but there's actually a Batmobile sitting there. I kind of wonder if that picture looks like the one that's in the game. Or not picture, but the one where it's sitting on the actual, you can walk around it. I wonder if that one looks like it is in this one.
For anything else in the storyline, like the Joker encounters, holy fuck, those are scary as hell.
What do you mean?
Like, they can get very fucking like up in your face, like holy shit.
It was. I enjoyed the funny part where, like, you know how he sits on the roof sometimes. When you scale up, he stops you from like zooming off or traversing the city. How they put it. It was funny, but it was kind of annoying half the time. When you zip up and he's like sitting there. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
I found that pretty funny actually, because like you weren't expecting it, and so like. They have the audio in there, and they're just like, oh, let's hear what he has to say. And then he completely wastes your fucking time. And just like,
it was funny though. I mean, I enjoy Mark Hamill as Joker. He's always been the Joker from like the animated series and stuff.
Yeah,
he's always been the Joker. It's like I can't think of anybody else who could play the voice of Joker. Per se.
I think the voices of the Joker and Batman are the ones that are actually from the animated series.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know Mark Hamill is from the animated series.
I'm not sure if Kevin Conroy plays Batman in the animated series. I mean, it sounds about the same, but I can't remember. I mean, it could have been a younger version of him.
Every time that the Joker like showed up, like you could tell like you were in for a fucking ride. That's the thing. Like I was more interested in the Joker encounters than I was with Scarecrow and Arkham Knight. I mean, the Arkham Knight, you're just like, I know every single one of your tricks, Batman.
Yeah.
Just like, cool.
I mean, it made it more personal and stuff like that.
I'm having trouble with Joker, and you're just in the way. Thanks.
Yeah. He was a villain, though. I mean, he was,
sucked ass, in my opinion.
I enjoyed him.
Some of them were clever. Some of them took me a little while.
It was funny.
But for the most part, the racing ones, I hated.
Yeah.
I really hated them. Because there was the ramping, and if you turn like... God, if you turn just sharply, just like a little bit, just to dodge something, your Batmobile will just...
Yeah, it had turning on a dime physics, and if you clipped it too long, it would flip over.
Fucking dumb.
If you weren't gonna flip the Batmobile over it, then they wouldn't have had a little icon that when you flip it over, it says press B to flip the Batmobile over. If you weren't gonna flip it over, they wouldn't have had that in there. And that's always funny when they add mechanic. Like they finally added the Batmobile, and Riddler challenges have Batmobile accessible courses.
Everything was the Batmobile.
So
I'm just like,
I'm like, nice.
And I feel like the Riddler challenges, like where the Batmobile really shines, is that, and that's where most of the development was spent, was just trying to like figure out clever ways to get all that shit.
I did like how even when the Riddler was talking to you, he would hint at certain things, and like if you turn on subtitles, it would bold it a little bit so you can actually get a clue. But because I never turned on subtitles, I was just playing it through. But it was always cool that if you get stuck, he would like hint you he would like hint you, but he wouldn't hint you at the same time. Like in this, you got to do what a bat actually does when it's at its own home, and it's like hanging upside down because you got like a fire winch or something. It was interesting. You wait around long enough.
This is there. Oh yeah, the PC port.
Yeah,
the best thing in the world.
They talk about how the PS4 graphics versus the PC port is different because they have back-to-back screenshots of the detail. But it's like
the PC looks like it's like running off of a 360. Some people on YouTube didn't have an issue up until like 3 to 4 hours, and then it started crashing and it started like failing on them, and even at 30 frames per second, it does not run.
I mean, I will say that on the Xbox One version, my game was glitching just a bit. When there's a point of the game where you have to use like the little scanner thing, like for the passwords and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a button there's supposed to be an icon that pops on the center screen. You're supposed to press it. It wasn't showing up for me, and I kept looking up like what's supposed to happen here. I had to basically leave the area and come back and finally load it up. I didn't have to shut the game down, which was kind of bad, but at least I was able to literally just leave the area of the game and come back to that area and it worked. So
I'm not in that same boat, but
it sucked, but I mean it was cool.
On the Xbox One version, this version here, I have actually run into loading times.
Really?
Yeah.
I like how they say in the
it's basically after the 12-hour thing is up.
Really?
Then the game starts loading.
Huh. Because I know
and I think that this game was mostly built around and centered around the PlayStation 4 because there's a YouTuber out there who's reviewed this game on PlayStation 4, and he said that he pointed out that mostly all the footage was captured on PlayStation 4, meaning that this game probably was built
to run on the
PlayStation 4 in mind, and not on the Xbox One and PC, which would make complete sense. But then it'd also be a fucking dick move.
Yeah.
I mean, but then the PC version was outsourced by a different company, so you can't really blame Rocksteady.
Not really.
I mean, you could blame them for outsourcing it, but then like you can't also blame them for the outsourcing problem issue. And I've actually talked to a person I know, and they said this just goes to show that only Rocksteady can make a Batman game.
I guess, yeah. It'd be interesting if they made other superhero games. That would be interesting.
That would be. I would love.
I don't know if
them
that
to
would be.
make
I
Ghost
don't know.
Rider.
I don't know if you'd want to call them like, just doing it for the money or like double dipping a little bit because they'd be making superhero games. Because they could also do Marvel too if they wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they have DC Comics popping them. I mean, they could, but I mean, if they're making these Batman games, they're popular. Just Batman himself. You don't. There's the sky's the limit as far as what else they could do if they want to do Arrow versus, or like Superman or any other characters in there.
Superman. Oh, you could actually redo Superman 64.
That'd be interesting.
This is more of a discussion video.
Yeah,
And we don't really like to. Well, me personally, I don't like to give out scores because I personally think scores are pointless.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because
Pointless.
Pointless scores.
And they don't really do a whole lot.
Because just one person.
I'd say I would recommend this game only if you are a Batman fan. If you really want it. If you want
to get into the Batman.
If you really want to get into Batman, but you wanted all the content, wait a full year for the complete edition to come out.
Yeah.
Because if you want to buy this game, for me, I was a little disappointed with the content surrounding the storyline. I mean, there's a bunch of great enemies for the side quests, but then also the side quests are limited to
failure.
Sometimes like the Batman. Sometimes you have to do stealth segments, and then sometimes you have to scan for evidence.
Yeah.
One of the enemies is actually really fucking weird, and it's really fucking hilarious.
I'd say play as Arkham Asylum first to kind of get your foot in the door a little bit, to good mechanics for it. Because basically the mechanics are the same throughout the whole each game, which is fine because it's the Arkham title, or it's the Arkham games. Our City would be next, and then kind of play through in the Arkham Knight, and then maybe go to Origins, and then Blackgate I think was another one. I never played Blackgate.
Blackgate? Oh my god, we don't talk about Blackgate.
I played Origins. But,
Blackgate.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would you say? Recommend this?
I would recommend it as far as like I said, being a Batman fan. You'd probably enjoy it because of all the little nuances and Easter eggs you could put in there for being in the DC universe as far as like that. If you hate Batman, probably don't play it because the nuances you'll probably get annoyed with. But I'd recommend it to people either first starting to like Batman or actually like Batman because they've always done. If you look at, there's all different types of different Batmans, and I guess this is close to the animated version, I guess, because like you said, they had the animated voices in there, like Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy and stuff like that in there. Before you play this one, I would play through the other ones just to get the basic storyline, because otherwise, if you play this one first, it'd be a big spoiler in the other two.
A spoiler with this, I don't even give two shits.
Yeah, I mean, as far as finding out the storyline of Joker and all that kind of stuff or whatever like that. Plus, if you go from this Scarecrow to the one, like you said, in Arkham Asylum, it'd be,
it's
way
a
different.
Huge jump.
It'd be way different.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Asylum one is holy fuck, from the animated series or some shit.
Yeah.
He looks super
it's still kept in
and
the
it's
hood,
scary.
Yeah.
It is scary how animated he is, and then this one just laid back and just talks to you and is I'm going to do this because I am scary.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in to our first review discussion. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you want if you want to comment what you liked, or if we sucked ass, go right ahead. And as always, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future.
Punch the like button in the face real fast.
Yeah, we're totally copying people off right now.
It's not copying.
And
they have a copyright on it.
And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you've actually got this far, thank you so much for actually getting this far and actually watching this thing. This is, once again, this is the first review, so of course it's going to be a little long, and we're going to be a little unorganized. I tried to be as organized as possible. I actually had a script written up, and I was trying to go off of that notes-wise, and making my points straight across, while Drew was just kind of improvising a little bit here and there, but he got his main points down. So thank you very much for watching the whole thing, if you did, and if you really want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and leave a like and comment what I could get done, what could be done better. Like, this whole part could be done better, but whatever. So yeah, I am very much thinking about doing more reviews in the future, but saying as I would need a much larger hard drive for that kind of shit, because this Batman Arkham Knight footage actually took up like a lot of my space, because I rendered it all in 60 frames per second, including the 30 frames per second video footage of us just talking to the camera itself. So yeah, it's going to take up a lot of space because I actually don't have a lot of room for my hard drive, which is another reason why I need a new computer. And as always, please subscribe, please like, comment what we could do better in the future. I'm going to be doing more of these reviews. It's going to be probably, I'm going to try to aim for about 3 minutes for a review, but I'm going to try as best as I can to sum up everything. If you're once again, if you watch the full thing, I very much appreciate it that you watched it and give me some feedback. So yeah, I just repeated myself 3 times over. Also, Batman Arkham Knight, yeah, it's a recommended for me. I mean, for the storyline, unless you want the complete edition. So yeah. And if you want to see more, then click on my channel and just go look at more, or look at the suggestion bar. There should be a lot of videos from me. As for reviews, I'm going to be working on a lot of reviews while also doing LPs. Why? Because there's really nothing else going on my channel. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.
It was interesting to have a full scanned, like basically a computer screen face, like was his mask. That was odd to me. What?
Wait, face scan?
Like where he had the mask, his whole mask was like a basically
electronic face.
Yeah, the face. It was like, it's got like a kind of Daft Punk thing going on a little bit.
Daft Punk?
That's what he looked like, yeah. Like Daft Punk thing with bad ears on him. That's what he looked like.
It's the Halloween Daft Punk.
Yeah, Halloween Daft Punk is Arkham Knight.
Only if
people make you better. That's what he was talking about.
The roof was heavily protected. This must be the way inside.